Hello everyone, it is Toby here and you will be watching this on Christmas Day if you watch it the day it's uploaded. So Merry Christmas to everyone watching it. I hope you all got the gym and strength related things that you were hoping for and you have bulked significantly on all of the Christmas food ready to smash your training going into the new year. For me it is the 23rd of December. As I'm recording this, I am sharing the gym with a big stack of Christmas food and drinks in the corner out of the way, and I am hitting a heavy leg day. So it is going to be a really heavy set of squats, Bulgarian split squats, leg extensions, leg curls, the whole shebang, really toasting our legs a couple of days before Christmas. So I will not be able to even walk on Christmas Day, not that I will need the excuse to because I am going to be full. But anyway, it is going to be a really fun gym day today with lots and lots of lifting. So let's jump into a more detailed session plan, even though I just ran over the beginning of it there with you. So that is what's going to be coming up now. So as I already mentioned, we are going to be doing a heavy set of squats. It is going to be 220 kilos for any more than one rep. So aiming for about 2 or 3 reps, possibly even 4 on this one. Really nice and heavy for me. Hoping that I can hit some really nice, good, solid squats, perfectly priming my legs for doing a heavy deadlift very soon. As you know, on the road to 300 kilos and my next deadlift session where I go heavy. So not the one coming this week, but the next one after that is when we are going to go for the attempt. So this really is my last heavy squat session before the big 300 kilo pull. So it is an important one to smash out and get right. So super heavy sets of squats to start things off. And then the accessories on these leg days aren't massively heavy because obviously we are going for a heavy deadlift. So we don't want to be taxing ourselves massively through the lower body, but they are going to be very high volume, very sort of endurance focused to get that work capacity in the legs. So it's going to be Bulgarian split squats, lightweight 10 reps a leg. These things are horrendous. If you've never done them, do them and get back to me because they are awful, but fantastic quad strength builders. Then we've got the leg extensions. We're going to be holding for 1 second at the top of every single rep, doing it 15 reps at a time. 3 sets, again, massively great for the leg endurance and killing my quads off. And then after all of that, the quads will be significantly fried. So we move on to the hamstrings, obviously the most important one for heavy deadlifts. So we are going to be doing slow, eccentric hamstring curls. So power it up to the curled position and then control it all the way back down again. 3 sets of 6 to 10, so fairly heavy, but really nice and controlled, really nice and slow. But these are the thing that kill you off. So this is a real killer leg day for strength building. Very high volume, nothing too heavy apart from the squats. So without further ado, I think it is time that we start warming up for those squats and getting ready for that high volume stuff towards the end. I need some energy, so it's pre-workout time. So I never usually show what pre-workout I take, just that it is a pretty gnarly one. So I always used to take the Hot Shot pre-workout from Myoband, which is the company I'm affiliated with. But honestly, I've been slowing down, taking a couple of their products because I am experimenting, finding my feet in other areas. Still some fantastic products and still get 10% off if you use my code, but I don't promote it as much just because it isn't the stuff that I am regularly using anymore, but I would still use it. It's still great. But what I'm using at the minute for pre-workout is Psycho Pharma, which is the company co-owned by Eric Bugenhagen. If you know who Eric Bugenhagen is, you'll know how much energy that man has. So it is a really high power pre-workout, and that is what I've been taking for the last few months now. And it's great, it's fantastic. I get no kickback off of saying any of this. It's just a product I believe in. It is slightly harder to get in the UK just because it's an American-based company, but if you know where to look and know how to get it, it's fairly gettable. It's not impossible, so I would highly recommend that. Again, no kickback at all to me on this. I just like it, and if anyone somewhat affiliated with Psycho Farmers watching. Great product, fantastic. So yeah, I've got the Ricky's Rotund Raspberry flavour, which is probably my favourite flavour, and I don't savour it at all. I do just see it off and get ready for training. So yeah, it's hard, but it is the energy that I need to get through these pretty brutal sessions. Neat. So yeah, as I said, I get no kickback off of that. I just thought, since a few people had asked, I'd show what pre-workout I've got. As for intra-workout, this is just clear whey with creatine in it. So 20 gram protein, some BCAAs, some creatine. The classic, just basically better than water and better tasting. Can't go wrong with, yeah, as I said, a bit of clear whey, not as heavy as a full protein shake. And then the BCAAs and creatine are pretty needed. I'd say creatine's essential, BCAAs you can live without, but I go for both. As for what else is on my table of things that I never show off, massage ball, smelling salts, headphones, measuring tape for measuring how pumped my quads get all the time, some tacky that is only here because it's pretty much stuck to the table, and again WD-40 to get the tacky off, and then some grip rings just because I like squeezing them between sets. It gives me something to do with my hands. But without further ado, I'm going to get kitted up for squats now. My lips have started tingling, so this is going to make talking not as fun. But yeah, going to start warming up for squats, and you'll be seeing me go through the motions with my warm-ups as we get towards the big top set. So everyone should start warming up with squats on the empty bar, no matter how strong you are, because the empty bar set is the set that lets you get all stretched out and warmed up in a good squat position. So I don't know about you, but until I have some weight on the bar, I can't hit depth and I feel all off. And having the empty bar on my back is pretty uncomfortable because squats are one of those exercises that just never feel that comfortable because you have to be so tight and so rigid to make sure everything moves correctly. So the first thing you want to do, for me at least, is get your shoulders stretched out. So first thing I'll do is I'll get under the bar as I would on the top set, and then I'll round the bar against the rack and use it to stretch my shoulders and get into that nice position where I can do low bar, because then when I come up, my shoulders feel much better. And then the next bit, of course, is making sure my hips and my knees open up nicely so that I can hit proper depth. So if I go down here, you can see I'm a bit above depth, but I just don't really sink into it. Oh. While there's no weight on my back, just to get my hips and knees prepared for going to depth on a squat and feeling better. So just sitting for a few seconds at the bottom of each rep here just gets your body ready for what's coming and means that your knees and hips won't hurt so much as the weight goes on. So once I've done 3 or 4 like that, then I breathe in, pump out the reps and get warm. And once I've done a few feeler sets like that and feel pretty loosey-goosey in the hips and the knees, it's taking a bit longer today because it is December and it's pretty damn cold in here. But once my hips and knees feel loosened up, my quads feel stretched, hamstrings ready, then is when I start putting the weights on. And by that point, you shouldn't need as many warm-up sets as you might do because you've already warmed and loosened everything off, and then it's just about feeling weight on your back, getting heavier and heavier and preparing your body for that top set. So yeah, after I do those sorts of like empty bar warm-ups for squats, I then can get away with going up a plate at a time. I don't have to do a million warm-up sets for squats. Are probably the most fatiguing exercise, perhaps other than a heavy log for reps. But the sheer weight of this exercise is significantly higher than that, so you don't want to be doing hundreds and hundreds of reps in your warm-up sets. So I just like to go up a plate at a time, do 70, 120, 170, and then whatever my top set is, and that is usually fine for me. So it's at this point for my last warm-up that knee wraps come into the equation for heavy squats. So if it's anything programmed over sort of 5 to 10 reps, so like 8, 10s, 6s, that sort of thing, I'll use sleeves, but anything below 5, I will use knee wraps for, because they provide a much better level of support for my knees. And if you're a long-term viewer of the channel, you'll know my knees sometimes give me issues and need extra care, basically. I never wrap particularly heavy. I don't think of them as providing any support in the movement, just a bit of hard support around the knees. It doesn't really provide any extra like bounce or anything for me too much, but that being said, they do change the movement enough in which I should use them on the last warm-up. I don't use them every warm-up like I would do a belt or wrist wraps, just because they are a faff to put on, and I physically can't do too much with them until we get a bit of a heavier weight on my back. But yeah, so as I said, I never wrap them particularly heavy. These aren't particularly long wraps either, just 4 times around, not particularly tight, just to provide a bit of support to that patella tendon. But yeah, very, very important to use them on the final warm-up, because you need to get used to how a wrap is going to feel compared to a bare knee before you go into the top set, and that could potentially throw you off. So 170 is going to be my final warm-up for today, and we're going to smash it with wraps on and hopefully make it look easy. So yeah, that is all the warm-ups done. We're about to go into the top set. And as I mentioned, I don't like to do too many warm-ups because squat kills me off more than pretty much anything. But 220 should be a really nice, solid weight to go for. We have only ever done this for, I think, 2, maybe 3 reps before. So that is the aim again today, is to get at least matching our PB. A nice solid double, very solid triple. Yeah, so the limit is 1 to 4 reps, but I don't expect 4. 4 would be a new PB, and I am not feeling PB worthy today. I am pretty knackered with everything, but we're going to get it done. We're going to smash out hopefully a really solid double, make it look easy. Yeah, should be pretty good. Let's do it. So, a little bit of a time jump since the top set of squats. I'll speak about them in just a second, because my early Christmas present arrived. I bought these about a month ago, and they have arrived literally the day before Christmas Eve. So shout out to the courier there for putting in a shift to get these in before Christmas, but I am so excited to have a play with these. We've got obviously the monster dumbbell and the loadable block, because I have monster dumbbell in both of my upcoming competitions in 2025. One as part of a dumbbell medley and one as part of a general overhead medley. And I need to get good at dumbbell because I am shit at dumbbell, really. So I bought a loadable dumbbell, and because I had some spare money and I've got block at the end of the overhead medley, I thought it'd be best to get a loadable block as well, because I don't have to pay shipping twice, and it's another thing for the home gym that I don't have. So I believe this is 45 kilo empty, this is 50 kilo empty, and it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I cannot wait to get stuck into using these, so make sure you go down below, click subscribe, because of course I am going to record my first session having a play with these in a few sessions time. So now I've got the block and the dumbbell out of the way, let's talk about what this video is actually about, and it is the top set of squats. Now, I said I wanted a triple, maybe 4, and we got a double, and I'm not going to lie, they looked fine, but they felt really, really hard. They felt really heavy, not as easy as I expected them to feel, to be honest. And I have to remember and remind myself, this is a massive, massive weight that I am lifting for a double there. And I'm coming to the end of a very, very heavy training block, a very, very heavy peak. It felt okay. The hardest bit for me was my hips. Still felt very tight, very fatigued, obviously from that deadlift, but watching it back, it didn't look like a struggle at all. It felt really comfortable, and if I had to have pushed it, a third probably would have been there, but we don't want to push to failure too much with this, especially with such a big deadlift coming up. So squats felt really, really, really good. Obviously, it's been about 20 minutes since I've done them now, unfortunately, because I was just setting up for Bulgarian split squats, and I heard the pallet truck arrive, and I had to go and sort that out. So yeah, really pleased. I didn't know they were coming today at all. They've just rocked up, with no tracking information, shipping, anything like that. They just rocked up. So really pleased that they actually came just before Christmas. Means I can get a couple of weeks head start on comp prep, get used to the movements before we start pushing them, hopefully. So really pleased about that. But yeah, next up we've got Bulgarian split squats, leg curls and leg extensions. 3 pretty brutal leg exercises to finish off. So yeah, I've already done 2 sets of the split squats because they are horrible, and they are horrible to film and horrible to get done. So I've got 1 more set of those that I'm going to show you right now. I'd like to reiterate with these, just because they look very easy and like I'm not doing too much, they really, really do fry you. And my knees, as I mentioned earlier, are a little bit fragile, so doing these with this massive cushion just allows me to properly put my all into it without my knee touching the floor, which really does help. So let's go. Yeah. Ten reps a leg. Properly nasty, but you have to remember, although I'm not going all that deep, I'm a heavy guy. I'm probably about 130 kilo with all my stuff on. So that plus the 22 kilo kettlebell is pretty meaty on the knees for that. So yeah, pretty nasty, but that was my 3rd set. Felt really, really good. Now it's time to not feel really, really good and do our leg extensions. So while I load this, I'm going to remind you that with this leg extension machine, I can only extend so high because just of the leverage of it. I've added some bands after a comment suggested I do that, and it has made a hell of a difference. It feels much more like an actual leg extension machine now. But yeah, just because of the leverage of the thing, I can't actually get my knees all the way up here. It's more like down there, but that's just because of the way you're sat on this thing. But yeah, it's pretty nasty. This is a pretty nasty exercise. So set 15, holding at the top of each rep. As I said, it's not going to be full extension, just because I can't, but should be pretty brutal. Let's get it done. So yeah, because of how the weight is loaded, it's at the top where you feel all of it. It's not a normal strength curve, so it gets exponentially harder the higher you go. And I could lighten the weight and get really high up, but I just didn't feel like it was doing anything. Whereas with this, much heavier weight, sort of 90% of the way up, I get it lit up all down there, all along there. Just feels much more like it's working. So before you go comment saying I'm ego lifting or whatever, not that any of you guys would, you guys who watch this far into training videos or all sound really nice people, but for the odd person who might be thinking that I'm going a bit too heavy, this machine just doesn't let you do leg extensions properly. It's a make do thing. I don't have a proper leg extension machine. This is a garage, for goodness sake. So I'm making do with this, and I mean it's working. I mean, if you don't get like this out of breath dying and it not do anything. So 2 more sets of this, not going to film them, going to smash it out, and I'll rejoin you for the leg curls. So those leg extensions were no joke. I am properly pumped up now, but we're not done yet. We have got leg curls, which arguably are even worse. Much lighter weight, much lighter weight on these, but 10 reps, really slow, eccentric. No particular count to them, just control it. Don't let it fly down. And these burn like a motherfucker. So let's get them done. So again, they don't look too bad, but they feel pretty damn terrible. It's all in the back of the knees and your hamstrings, obviously, especially on this machine. The bands on this exercise, because it's so much higher up, make a hell of a lot more difference. But yeah, I kind of lost count there. I hope that was 10. Felt like 10, but oh my God. My hamstrings were already burning up, even still sat here. So yeah, pretty gnarly exercise, but that was my last set of them. I know I didn't film them all, but once again, I'm in a bit of a rush. It's a busy time of year. So yeah, the videos are suffering a little bit, but I'm trying my best to keep them going for you guys. But yeah, God, what a nasty exercise that was. So this video felt a bit all over the place, to be honest. I sort of got thrown out of whack with those Strongman implements arriving just after I squatted my top sets. So it's been a bit all over the place, to be honest, and I have completely run out of time because I wasn't factoring in for half an hour of unpacking Strongman kit midway through from the back of a lorry. So, I mean, you just go with the flow, don't you? But it is Christmas. This is the Christmas video for this year. So I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful time, or have had a wonderful time, depending on when you watch this. And let me know in the comments down below if you yourself received any gym equipment, any gym related stuff for Christmas, or treated yourself like I did with the dumbbell and the loadable block. I want to know what you guys got, and I want to know what your goals are going into 2025, because 2025, I feel like for me, is going to be a big year. I'm manifesting it. I'm working really hard, and we should start it off with a bang with 300 kilos. So as I've said before, if you don't want to miss that, go down below, click subscribe, turn your notifications on, because that will be coming really soon. First video of the new year, probably. Should be really fun. But as for this video, I hope you did enjoy it. Again, sorry it's been a bit all over the place,
but I thought it was good to get a leg day done, especially the last heavy leg day before such a big deadlift. I thought it was worth recording. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Toby and I'll see you in the next video.